Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Veach Season. We are your guest hosts, Rocky Magaña and Kramer Sansone. Oh, my gosh. We're coming to you from the, kind of like the lull, like what do you call it? The purgatory of between the two holidays, right? Like the post-Christmas, but pre-New Year's, lull where sometimes you have to go back to work, but nobody actually wants to do shit.
Yep.
And it's like sometimes you have shit you have to do, but you don't want to do it, and you kind of just resent your bosses for making you be present at work during this week. Then everybody has that one asshole friend who's off the entire week, and they're just like posting like things online like, oh, spending time with my kids, took them to the petting zoo, or did a me day and like fucked up and went to the matinee. You know what I mean? Like something. And you're just like, and you hate them. You're like, I love you as a person, but like, if you were right now, I would kill you with my bare hands.
Yeah, it's like almost a small case of FOMO. You're missing out on that dude having fun, and you wish that was you, and it's not because you have to like push through and plow through this I don't know, this lull, like you mentioned it, or it seems like this also feels like during the All-Star break of the summer for baseball, those 3-4 days there's nothing going on sports related. It's like, what do I do? What do I do? I guess we have a lot of college football to watch though, so that's been cool with me.
It is cool, but like that's what also pisses you off because you'll be like, oh, I got a buddy. You're like, oh, I'm day drinking and pre-game, blah 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 blah, and you're like, oh well, I'm at work and I got to be up for work tomorrow because it's Tuesday, and then and you're just like, you know what, F you, man, F you. And I guess it wouldn't have been Tuesday though because Christmas is on Wednesday, and then so. It was Friday. We'll say Friday or a Monday, right? Like, F you. It was a Monday. I had to work and actually had things I had to do for work, like real things, like achieve like outcomes. It's just like, God dang it. Like, I just
you achieved it, yeah.
What?
Yeah, thumbs up, yeah, and you achieved it, yeah.
Oh, hell yeah. I always achieve it.
Good work.
Are you kidding me?
Good work.
I'm a champion. I never not achieve my goals, Kramer. Unlike Brett Veach, where he set a goal. He told me last year he had a goal of hosting at least one podcast in 2024. God damn it, if he didn't lie his ass off again. Episode 2465, and he is still yet to come on this show and show his ass for 2 GD seconds and host his own podcast, which I'm okay with because then we get to talk and hang out with each other. But someday, Brett, you got to come and do your own podcast, man. You can't just keep on leaving it up to us every single week.
Or honestly, Brett, we could literally go to the locker room bar, have a couple of brewskis with you and record a podcast then with you. So we can actually go to your house inside Arrowhead and get the job done there.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah,
or
it's pretty sweet. We have to fly you back home.
If you don't want to like do it at work because you're like, man, I don't want to mix business and pleasure, and Clark Hunt doesn't want to hear me spit the truth at Arrowhead about what's really going on in the franchise. We could broadcast live from the Peanut or something one day.
That works.
Eat some wings, have some beers. Just a couple fellas just chopping it up. You know what I mean?
Bunch of bros being dudes.
Just bros being dudes, man. Yeah, mahalo, hang loose, Brett. Yeah, and so here's something you don't really know until you become a parent. I was actually toddlers are psychopaths, like soulless like every single toddler inside of their brain is a serial killer. And the only reason why they're not a serial killer is because they're not big and strong enough to actually carry out what they want, like to enact what they want to do. Like I was actually take for instance, I have an 18-month-old, right?
Yeah.
And he will legitimately just do the most soulless things to crush you on purpose and then laugh. And there's small things. Like it's 100% just like psychological warfare that he plays with you on a daily basis. Like for instance, today he walks into our kitchen and we have like this tub of straws, like bendy straws, like disposable straws. And he walks over, he looks right at me and he picks it up. I'm like, hey man, can I see that? And he walks towards me a little bit, then he stops, he just turns and dumps the whole thing on the floor. Oh, hey bud. You help me clean them up? And I start singing the cleanup song, like clean up, everybody do your share. And so he comes down, we pick them all up, we clean them up. And he's cleaning them up and he's smiling, he's having a good time. And then I'm like, good job, bud. I turn my back and I hear just bang. And I turn around and he just knocked it on the floor and dumped them all over again.
Oh boy.
Laughs at me and walks away. Just like that sort of thing. He'll walk over to his brother and just grab him by the hair and just stand there and stare at him with a handful of hair, knowing that his older brother is bigger than him and not going to do anything because his older brother is a good kid. And I'm just like, you are a complete, like, you are a serial killer. And so I was actually talking to my psychiatrist about this. And he goes, scientifically speaking, humans are their most violent in the 18 to 24 month range of their life. Like mentally, like it's your most violent time of your life.
Why is that?
Where you have like the least remorse, that you haven't developed any sort of like idea of like conscience or remorse or consequences. Like all you know is like,
so your frontal lobe's not developed at all.
Frontal lobe's not developed, and you're kind of like, but you're also feeling aggression. Like you've developed aggression.
Oh yeah, because you're only worried about is eating and using the restroom at that age. You're not worried about anything else.
Well, you've also learned that like, oh, haha, this is fun for me to do this, and so it's like pulling the wings off of flies, right? You have no feeling for what you're doing to the fly, but it's something for you to do, right? If you're like that age.
Oh, yeah.
So they're just complete psychopaths. They're just sociopaths with no soul, no conscience, who will just go through life just trying to destroy and burn everything to the ground and F shit up as much as possible.
So that's something I have to look forward to whenever that time does come for me.
Yeah, and I'm in the thick of it. I'm in the thick of it right now, and I tell you what, I've never love the kid to death. He cracks me up, but man, he will just do the most cold-blooded shit and just think that it's so funny, and you can't help but laugh at it sometimes because he's just so non-repentant, just does not care whatsoever. And you're just like, God, you are just like the evilest little hell spawn on the face of the planet.
That was you at one point, buddy. That was you.
Oh, it was 100% me. And it was my oldest at one point too. And then eventually, through parenting and raising your kids.
I don't know if you can even answer this question properly, but did they, when your oldest one at this point in time, did he like seriously act worse or better than what your kid now is 18 months?
I would say better, but not by a lot.
Gotcha.
Like my youngest, he wants to just like piss you off and get under your skin and then laugh in your face, right? Like just do like stupid little shit to get under your skin and just laugh at you. My oldest just had a death wish where he wouldn't listen to anybody and would just like try to like jump off the couch onto like the stone fireplace. Like over and over again. Like he was just like constantly trying to kill himself. And he is to this day too. He's a little maniac daredevil, just like will climb and jump off of anything.
So he is your fullback, your nose tackle.
Yeah, he's my fullback. Like he's a defensive tackle through and through. And so he's aggressive as all can be, but he's also like the sweetest, nicest kid in the world. So he doesn't want to hurt anybody, but he also doesn't know his own strength. He's super strong and he's not even like a bull in a china shop. He's like, I don't know, like something worse, like a minotaur in a china shop, just like he's just gonna like literally like destroy everything and then I don't know, like steal your girlfriend.
All right then. Okay.
Yeah. Veach season. My toddler son's gonna steal your girlfriend.
Yeah, he's apparently that's what's gonna happen.
Yep. All right. So anyway, 10 minutes into the show, it's about that time we get where we ask what's hot with Krame Dog.
Yeah, funny, oddly enough, we are on time for what's hot with Krame Dog. But yeah, no, it's I don't know if it's what's hot with Krame Dog or what's lukewarm, because what are the Las Vegas Raiders doing right now? They have won back-to-back games, got themselves even further away from getting that first overall pick. I think they're like maybe pick 6th right now, 5th or 6th. I have to like look at the numbers at this point in time. But you're entering closer and closer away from Shedeur Sanders. And I'll tell you what right now, Rocky, I am all invested. I'm all on team Shedeur. I want it to happen. I want to see the lights come on him in Las Vegas, him just try to do whatever he can to reconstruct that Las Vegas Raiders to make him at least a force or at least someone to compete with against the Chiefs, because it's a little lackluster that we've seen recently. So I don't know what's going on there, but right now my head's all a whirlwind because I don't know what to do because I've been cheering for a loss this entire season.
Yeah, so the Raiders winning this week was awesome for me because it was kind of like
I bet it was.
Here's
I didn't even watch the game.
Here's the best way I can describe how you should feel as a Raiders fan. Like sometimes, like I'll be like taking a bath, and like my kids like want to take a bath with me, or so I can't turn the water on very warm, and so I'm sitting there in like this like lukewarm, not really hot bathtub with my toddler playing toys, whatever. He's taking a bath, and then suddenly I'm like, huh. This bathtub just got a little bit warmer and a little bit more comfortable. And I'm like, that's kind of nice. And I'm like, then that in this scenario, that's you being like, oh, the Raiders just won a game. That's kind of nice. And then all of a sudden you realize, oh, he's pissing on me right now.
Yeah.
And then you're like, well, we just didn't get Shedeur Sanders. So essentially, the Raiders winning the game is like my toddler pissing on me in the bathtub.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
okay.
I felt like I got pissed on the entire time from just looking at the box score. Like
I
said,
you're just sitting there. You're just sitting there getting a golden shower from Antonio Pierce all day long.
I think I might be one of the only. There's a lot of Raider Nation out there want a AP fired, and I'm one of them. Like he hasn't proved anything to me. Hell, Josh McDaniels has a better win-loss record than he does right now, and that's telling you something.
Hard to win when you don't have a quarterback, but then again, the Vikings seem to find a way to do it. So
Sam Darnold's a stud, man. Like I honestly,
is he a stud?
Last year, yeah, he's a stud. Last year, I thought Brock Purdy was going to get hurt, and then that's when Sam Darnold's going to get thrust into the 49ers rotation with the Kyle Shanahan experience. Luckily, that didn't happen. Now he's just all full-blown Viking. It's been amazing.
Here's the deal, though. Is it Sam Darnold's awesome, or is it Kevin O'Connell is awesome? Because he didn't. It's 100% Kevin O'Connell is Kevin O'Connell is awesome because Kirk Cousins looked really good with Kevin O'Connell, and then he immediately goes to Atlanta and gets his ass benched, right? And fails miserably.
With that big Penix energy.
Sam Darnold fails at every single stop he's been at. Shows up in Minnesota with Kevin O'Connell. And all of a sudden, everybody's like, oh, look at Sam Darnold. He's actually a stud. He's big dick Sam Darnold out there. Just
he ain't seeing ghosts no more.
No, he's seeing ghosts no more. Skull mother effers, and they're fighting for the 1 seed. And so, I mean, I think that if Kevin O'Connell ever got like hell, even
he's coach of the year, right?
Allen, yeah, he's got to be. But like, if you ever got a real quarterback, like, watch out. The dude's going to win multiple Super Bowls, I think he might be, in my opinion, the second best coach in the NFL right now behind Andy Reid. And I don't think it's even close, honestly. If you look at what he's achieved with the quarterbacks that he's achieved, I mean,
I agree.
The guy knows football. And
hell, who knows? Sam Darnold might be an actual guy. Like, I honestly, from what he's seen so far this year, I do believe he's an actual guy. It's just he had to get to that right spot. And he is where he's at and where he needs to be.
I mean, yeah, I've been talking about it for years.
It's like Geno Smith. Look at Geno Smith. It took him forever to figure out where he was going to be at.
I mean, NFL teams give up on quarterbacks way too quickly.
Yeah.
And nobody wants to develop anybody.
Like Brock Osweiler. That's the biggest one come to my mind. Good job, Broncos.
Like Alex Smith. Randall Cunningham. Even Randall Cunningham had some success with Philadelphia, but like there's a lot of teams that move on from guys who end up being good. Case Keenum, another guy comes to mind who was successful in another place.
Yeah. Yeah, you really put Case Keenum on that list? I mean, Ryan Fitzpatrick, you could.
Ryan Fitzpatrick played everywhere, though.
Yeah, that's
true.
Played
for 18 teams or something like that.
Ryan Tannehill? Could we say Ryan Tannehill's on that list or no?
You definitely
I feel like Derrick Henry might have carried him in Tennessee, though.
I think Mike Vrabel had a lot to do with Ryan Tannehill's success in Tennessee, and so did AJ Brown. Let's not kid ourselves, but I mean, Ryan Tannehill was a very effective.
Drew Brees.
Drew Brees, 100%. Drew Brees is like the epitome of NFL coaches not wanting to develop a quarterback because they legit gave up on Drew Brees during his rookie contract and then drafted Ryan Leaf to replace him in Drew Brees' final year of his rookie deal.
Was it Leaf or was it Rivers?
No, sorry, not Leaf. It was Rivers.
They Leaf. I'm like, well, when this happen?
Leaf was before Drew Brees. Sorry.
Yeah.
They drafted Leaf, and then they drafted Drew Brees. Sorry, I misspoke.
You're good. You're good.
They drafted Phillip Rivers to replace Drew Brees in the final year of his rookie deal. And then all of a sudden, Drew Brees just balls the hell out. And then they're like, well, shit, we just drafted Phillip Rivers, and we just traded up to draft Phillip Rivers in the first round. So we got to hold on to him. So they just let Drew Brees walk in free agency for absolutely nothing. Like, are you kidding me?
Like the Packers kind of did that with Rodgers, but that was later on in his career with Jordan Love.
Yeah, they also did the same thing with Brett Favre, but they always had, but that was later in their careers, and it was after these guys had achieved, won Super Bowls for the franchise, and it was just time to move on from them. It was that they had a succession plan in place for their veteran quarterback, not that they drafted a quarterback, gave up on him, and then the guy turned out to be a stud. It happens so often in the NFL that it's like these guys are obviously talented. If you put them through the ringer in the pre-draft process and you're confident in their mental capacity and their ability to process the game and see the game, then at some point there's either a confidence issue or like a coaching, like grasping of the offense issue, or they need to learn how to see the defense and make decisions, right? Like there's so many guys, like every guy in the NFL has talent, right? Yeah. Every guy in the NFL.
Yeah, because you had to earn yourself to get there. Yeah, everybody. You have to be talented to get there.
It's what you do once you get there that matters. And this isn't taking the onus off the player, like Jamarcus Russell and his never opening the DVD case story where he and refusing to watch game film. That's 100% on him, right? Like once you get to the NFL, you got to prove yourself. You got to work your ass off to be great. But the coaches are supposed to be there to teach you how to be great and to give you the tools to be great. And I think that you see in Chicago, which we said this last offseason, that Caleb Williams was going to struggle because Matt Eberflus was a defensive coach, and he also had no idea how to coach a quarterback, how to develop a quarterback. And you see here that Caleb Williams' rookie season has been a complete shit show.
Oh, yeah,
and it continues to be. And you can't tell me that he's a better, like I told you, I said he wasn't a good quarterback, a professional good quarterback prospect in my mind, and that I would take Jalen Daniels over him. I would take Drake May over him. I didn't say I'd take Michael Penix over him, but watching Michael Penix play yesterday, I'd take Michael Penix over Caleb Williams.
I'm not. I'm sorry. Caleb Williams has actually shown that he can actually help and get wins done. Michael Penix hasn't shown me that. Yeah. There's at least 2 or 3 wins this season where.
When's the last time Caleb Williams won a football game?
Like what weeks?
Like 6, 4?
No, how many wins did the Bears have? There's at least 2
4?
wins. There's at least 2 or 3 wins that Caleb Williams actually took over. Hold on, I'm pulling up my because I had him in fantasy. That's the reason why I know that.
I didn't say he didn't put up stats. We're talking.
Well, no, wins. I'm just saying he's able to get them wins in those games.
They're 4-12 right now. The Bears are. When's the last game that they won?
Was it the game against Jacksonville?
October 13th.
Was it the Jacksonville game?
Against Jacksonville. 35-16. Yep. Since then, they lost to the Commanders. They lost to the Cardinals. They lost to the Patriots. They lost to the Packers. They lost to the Vikings. They lost to the Lions.
What's that? Okay, can we just talk about that?
Vikings.
They should have won.
They lost to the Seahawks.
No,
you're going to tell me.
Early in the season, he looked like he was doing good things. That week of Jacksonville and Carolina, and also, heck, even the Indy game.
They did not score more than 17 points in a game in the entire month of December.
I know.
They didn't score over 3 points in their last game.
If Michael Penix had the exact same starts that Caleb Williams has had so far, I guarantee you it would be the exact same thing, but Caleb Williams was just a little bit more up. Heck, has Michael Penix even won a game yet starting for the Falcons? No.
If you gave Michael Penix Jr. or any other quarterback.
No, he's not getting those wins. No, at least 4 for him as well.
You give any other quarterback in the NFL. Now, listen, this is 100% on the Bears franchise because they're a poverty franchise.
I absolutely agree.
And their coaching staff is a complete dumpster fire. And so I'm not putting this all on
Fire Brian Proles. I'll say it.
I just didn't believe in Caleb Williams as a prospect. But let's not act like on the field Caleb Williams doesn't have the tools to succeed because he has Romo Dunze, DJ Moore, and Keenan Allen to throw the freaking football
to.
Like, you name somebody who has better targets in the NFL to throw the ball to. Like if he can't succeed with that wide receiving core, because guess what? Jalen Daniels doesn't have those.
But you also see, even when Matt Eberflus was fired, I think it's funny talking about the Bears right now, but they couldn't do anything because their offensive coordinator, whoever it was, brand spanking new guy, or he's finally actually saying, hey, I can actually do this now. He's not getting the job done, relaying the good messages or good plays to Caleb Williams. So you can't. I'm sorry. I did not like Caleb Williams coming into this draft. At least like before the season started.
Why
did
are
not
you
like
such
him
a Caleb
guaranteed?
Williams,
he's kind of won me over. He kind of won me over this year.
Oh, so you're just like the number one. So how about the Raiders trade for Caleb Williams as their quarterback?
Go for it. We need an offensive coordinator first.
Oh my God.
You know what I mean? Like, we need a head coach.
I'll be honest with you. When you watched Hard Knocks and you watched Caleb Williams' interactions with the coaches, there was an air of, I think I'm the shit, and I'm kind of questioning everything you're telling me, coach, to him whenever his coaches were talking to him. And I do think that he thinks he knows more than he actually does. And I think he thinks he's better than he actually is.
But you have to keep but you have to have your confidence level that high. I mean, you've got to.
There's a difference. There's a difference between being a competitive prick and confident in your abilities. Mahomes is a total asshole to opposing teammates when he's, when it comes to like wanting to win and rip their hearts out. But it doesn't mean that he's not open to coaching.
Hey, luckily, you don't have to worry about that problem here.
We don't, because we're lucky because we're the greatest quarterback of all time. We're the greatest coach of all time. We're the greatest culture in football. Yeah. And we're about to three-peat for the first time in history, bitches. Yeah, and we're peaking at the right time.
It's going to be nuts.
No, why are you making me talk about the goddamn Chicago
no, you're the one
Bears?
That you kept it going. I just kept throwing stuff
Chiefs
at it.
Locked up the 1 seed.
By the way, bravo, Chiefs. Good job, Kansas City Chiefs.
Are you starting to get excited about being a Chiefs fan soon?
Oh, just look at my face of excitement right now, Brocky.
What are you gonna do when the Chiefs?
Those are Chiefs fans in the final game of the regular season.
And then when when inevitably the Raiders end up drafting Shedeur Sanders, but you're a Chiefs fan.
Oh, I mean, I guess I'll have to return the Brock Bowers jersey I got.
Oh gosh, see, I don't have faith that you're going to hold true to your word, Kramer.
Man, I will do
you're
what
gonna
I've
be
been,
a half-hearted, half-assed,
I will do
lukewarm lover of the Chiefs.
I will do what I've been doing the last how many years I've been covering the Chiefs now? Is this going on my 5th year? Holy cow. Yeah, I'll keep acting like how I've been acting, being all fair and honest. Because hell, they are the best football team out there. I stamp of approval, the Kramer stamp of approval.
Listen,
they're that damn good.
They looked dominant against the Texans, which were a playoff team. Then they looked really dominant against the Pittsburgh Steelers, which were also a playoff team. They played 2 playoff teams in 11 days and looked dominant and walked away with multi-score victories in both games.
You
want to talk about? Go ahead.
I had zero doubt they would lose any of those games in those 11-day span. I had zero doubt. I was full confident. Oh yeah, they'll figure it out. They'll win. And what happened? They won.
Usually over on Arrowhead Pride, when we do our game predictions, I'll say something like, well, if the Chiefs can do this, then they'll be able to come out with a victory, blah, 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 blah. And this one, I wrote, the Chiefs are going to beat the Steelers and they're going to walk away with the 1 seed. Like, I was 100% confident that the Chiefs were going to slam the door because they look better than they have all year long. And I've said it all year long. I said it all year long. I refuse to wring my hands and worry this year when we were barely winning and when Matthew Wright is donking the ball in and everything else. Like, this team has been there before, and I fell victim to the worry warting last year and not believing in the Chiefs, and they made me look like a damn fool, and I refuse to look like a dumbass this year. And they are paying me back for my faith because they look like the cream of the crop of the NFL right now. They look like a complete team. Somehow, out of nowhere, they decided to start playing pass defense. Last week. The only criticism in the game is that they played shitty run defense, but they were playing from in front, so it didn't really matter. And I know
also Russell Wilson throwing the football. Can we just can we just say that?
We can say that. And over on AP, I said that like the Chiefs missed Chris Jones in run defense, which is a funny thing to say because Chris Jones is horseshit at run defense. But
hey, welcome, Rocky. Welcome. I've kind of figured that out the last 3 years, but that's just me.
Yeah, but here's the deal: is when he's drawing a double team every single play, he frees up everybody else to play free and play actual run defense and stop the running back. You don't have him in the lineup. You don't have anybody drawing a double team, which makes everything more difficult for the rest of the defensive line and everybody else in the box across the board. Now, everybody was saying, oh, well, they were playing prevent zone defense. There was garbage time yards and blah, blah. Missed me with all that. Jaylen Warren tore them up in the first half, and that's okay. They gave up 98 rushing yards before halftime, right? The only touchdown that they got was on a scramble by Russell Wilson, but it still counts as a run. Like, run defense isn't just designed runs as well. The Chiefs did not play good run defense in the game. That's fine. They didn't have to play good run defense in order to dominate the Steelers because they dominated them in every other facet of the football game, right?
Yeah.
Other than that, the only negative in the game is that the offense decided to keep on trying to sabotage Harrison Butker's point after attempts by picking up 15-yard penalties and making him attempt 2 48-yard point after attempts in the game, which I'll say this. I don't care what Dave Tobe said a couple weeks back. Harrison Butker doesn't look 100%.
No,
I don't know if it's injury related or not, which they say it's not. It could just be rust, right? He might just need to be still knocking the rust off. It might be that there's a hitch in the machine and the communication between him and the long snapper and the holder.
But I still don't understand.
Whatever. There's something up there.
What was the other 15-yard penalty on? Because clearly they say, lifting up the shirt, Xavier Worthy was a 15-yard penalty, but I still don't know what the other 15-yard penalty was.
Travis Kelce dunking the football.
Oh, that's so stupid. They don't want to have fun. That's the no fun league. That's what the NFL is. I really thought he got flagged. Worthy got flagged for the celebration, but it was the lifting the skin up to show the skin. But I didn't even know that was even a thing.
Yeah, it's because it's because he was showing the gat. It was to show the gat celebration. So it was a violent celebration.
Okay,
because he had a gun, right? And then Travis Kelce slam dunked the football as an homage to Tony Gonzalez for breaking his record. And the NFL sucks. And so they gave us a 15-yard penalty for it. But other than that, Mahomes looked amazing. The wide receivers looked amazing.
Justin Watson made a catch.
Justin Watson made a long catch. The long ball was there, which is 100% like textbook classic West Coast offense. Like that's the whole thing. If you go back and watch the 49ers Super Bowl victories back in the day, they would do short pass until they forced the opposing defenses into a single high safety look to play close to the line of scrimmage to guard against the slots and the short passing game. And then they would hit somebody deep on a pass over the top. As soon as you get them into single high, throw the ball deep. Is exactly what you do in what Bill Walsh did over and over and over again in the West Coast offense. It's exactly what the West Coast offense is predicated on. It's the entire philosophy of the West Coast offense.
Love the West Coast offense.
It's exactly what the Chiefs are running right now. And it's so much fun to watch with the personnel that they have with Hollywood Brown and DeAndre Hopkins and Xavier Worthy continuing to benefit from having these veteran wide receivers to teach him something. Xavier Worthy, I'm eating crow more and more on my hatred of Xavier Worthy pre-draft. The kid looks like he could end up being like his ceiling is Devonta Smith, I think, right? Where like that's the ceiling for him. He still has a ways to go there, before he gets to that point. He's never going to be an X wide receiver. He's always going to have to play, the Z.
But for his sake, that might be a good thing.
100% it's a good thing. There's a lot of wide receivers who are like that. Deshaun Jackson never was an X wide receiver. He always played off the line of scrimmage because he wasn't big enough to beat press man. And neither is Xavier Worthy, and that's fine. Andy Reid knows that. He's not going to put him, you line him up as an X. Rashee Rice is going to be your X moving forward. Right now, it's DeAndre Hopkins, right? There's other guys who the Chiefs don't need him to be an X. And there's a whole reason why you have an entire position that's not an X wide receiver. It's okay to say that Xavier Worthy is not an X wide receiver because that's a separate position. He doesn't play that position. That's like saying Travis Kelce isn't a Y wide receiver. He's a tight end, even though he's more of a Y wide receiver than a tight end a lot of the time. But it's like saying, fine, Travis Kelce is not a Z wide receiver who plays off the line of scrimmage a little bit out wide, right? Like he's a tight end. He's either a Y wide receiver or an inline tight end. Like it's okay to say that, right? It's okay to say that Isaiah Pacheco is not a slot wide receiver because he's a running back. Like these are different positions that people play.
And there's nothing wrong with this having one guy in one spot. Like you can have hell. If it's me, I'm having one guy as my punt returner, one guy as my kick returner. That's two different dudes. So I want them healthy.
100%. So is it too early in the off season to talk about trade rumors for off season, Kramer?
I'm always a good rumor type of male guy.
Yeah, I'm a little bit of let me put on my TMZ Rocky hat here.
TMZ Rocky, how we doing?
Old TMZ Rocky, back of the game. Yeah, so
what's the headlines, the TMZ Rocky news?
Andrew Wiley banged. No, I'm joking. Andrew Wiley and Andy Reid caught in the lovers' tryst.
Oh, jeez.
Soaking underneath the bleachers at Arrowhead Stadium.
And them Utes are BYU boys.
Those BYU boys out there just Brokeback Mountain. It's soaking their asses off underneath the bleachers in the stadium. No, you actually sent me this rumor, Kramer. So Bovada has odds out on the landing spot for Micah Parsons if Dallas decides to move on from him, and The Chiefs are listed as a top landing spot for Micah Parsons.
Okay. All righty.
Would you make that trade, and what would it take, do you think?
I'm saying yes, because can you just imagine Micah Parsons next to Chris Jones? Like, can you just imagine that George Karlaftis on the other side of Micah Parsons? In this scenario, yes, go for it. I'm assuming I'd take a first-round draft pick, maybe 2 first, possibly. But that's also, are you willing to give that up now?
I know. Here's the thing. Like, he doesn't fit the prototypical Spags defensive end. Spags wants a guy who's 6'4", 260 and can set the edge.
Sure, yeah.
Like, that's like Parsons is 6'3", 245 and doesn't fit the mold. He's an elite pass rusher.
He could set the edge.
He's an elite pass rusher, but he's also a 3-4 outside linebacker. The issue is the draft compensation is a lot for a guy who doesn't traditionally fit your scheme. Not that he's not a talented player who's worth that much.
Oh, sure, yeah.
He doesn't fit what the Chiefs want to do, so maybe he's not worth. Like Myles Garrett fits 100% what the Chiefs want to do, and he's 100% worth 2 first-round draft picks to the Chiefs, I would say. Okay. Micah Parsons, I think, is just as good of a football player as Myles Garrett, but they play different positions like we just talked about. And the Chiefs don't field that position in their defense. You know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
And so yeah, they could put him in a different position, but then is that trying to put a square peg in a round hole? And you're going to have to pay an awful lot of money for that square peg in that round hole. And listen, Kramer, I ain't never paid to stick it in a hole before, and I'm not starting now.
I respect it, brother. I do.
But then again, you never offered me a hole. I might pay for you. But yeah, so it's interesting. I don't think that I would do it.
Oh boy, Rocky,
Carson.
my goodness, man. You're like what, the 9th wonder of the world, man. That's what you are.
Yeah,
you are.
I'm something. I'm going to hell. That's what I'm doing. If hell exists, I got a one-way express ticket heading downstairs, baby.
I doubt that, but okay. If you're going, I'm going with you, I guess. So I mean,
that's what I'm saying. I mean, we're all going. If I'm going, you're going, and we're all going. And anyway, no Micah Parsons to the Chiefs in my mind.
I think they should do it, but that's just me.
Listen, I wouldn't be angry if they did it because you're adding elite talent to the roster.
Right.
I'm just saying, if I'm Brett Veach, which in this chair right here, right now, we are, because we are currently sitting in Veach's
his
chair.
Show, so yeah.
Yeah, holding space for him. We get to, say
this is why we need Brett though in this time. Because I say go for it, Brett. You say no. Brett would be the deciding factor on this because he would actually get the job done.
Get in here and be the tiebreaker, bro.
Yeah, like democracy.
Get your ass on the show so you can be the tiebreaker and tell us, do you think that Micah Parsons is worth 2 first-round draft picks as a scheme fit for the Kansas City Chiefs? Let us know in the comment section, Brett. Brett, leave us a 5-star review and let us know in the comment section, since it is your show.
That's the only way he interacts with the show, is leaving a 5-star review. Go ahead, Brett. Brett, go for it. Yeah, no, that's how we really want you to do.
Every week to leave like a new 5-star review, and ask questions and leave comments on the show. Actually, you didn't know this, but a big fan of the show, VIP fan of the show, JC Proctor, is actually Brett Veach's burner.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's.
I don't think that JC Proctor guy likes me.
What? JC Proctor loves you.
We'll see.
He's listening. JC, I know you're listening to us, bro. Do you hate Kramer? And if so, tell us why in explicit detail and don't pull any punches.
Yeah, go for it. Go for it.
Like just literally just like brutalize him with your words.
And you also gave
or give him his flowers, like the adorable pale king that he is.
I was looking pretty pale before the light switched in here. This ring light had me look like a ghost.
When we first hopped on to record this, Kramer had to like tweak his lights a little. Look at that, like I literally feel like I'm GD Ebenezer Scrooge.
Hold on.
Meeting the ghost of Christmas past.
So
like,
white,
oh
man.
God, like I promise.
Oh, there it is. This is it.
I won't be such a curmudgeon and such a greedy old bastard. Please give me another chance, Kramer.
Pissing my cat off behind me too.
Speaking of Christmas, this is totally off topic, but I got a little bit of trouble with my wife over Christmas.
What'd you do?
Because I made a judgment call as a father.
Oh boy.
Right. And I think that you probably some dads out there can relate to me, and some people might think that maybe I was out of line. I don't know. I'll
tell you straight.
You'll shoot me straight. I know you will. Just why I'm going to ask you.
Okay.
I have a 3-year-old son. He'll be 4 in February, right? And I made the judgment call that he was old enough to watch Home Alone, and we sat down on Christmas Day and watched Home Alone together. And it's now his favorite movie and all he wants to watch.
Nice.
And every single time that he says, "I'm down here, you big horse's ass," my wife looks at me and says, "Really? This is the show you want to show our 3-year-old child?" And when they grab him at the end, like, "We're gonna bite off your fingers and pour boiling water on your face." And I'm like, "It's a Christmas classic." And he said they're reading Playboy. There's a lot of stuff in there, like Keith the Change of Filthy Animal, after an Angel of the Filthy Souls, after he shoots him with a Tommy gun. And there's a lot of things my wife is like, really, like, this is like content wise.
So, but does he like the movie?
Literally asked to watch it every single day.
Is he quoting it?
Loves it. Yes, he's quoting it. Not the bad parts. He doesn't quote the bad parts. He just he loves it because he says he loves that he pranks the bad guys and the bad guys get pranked. And I said that's the whole purpose of watching the movie is to love the pranks. And so I think that my wife is like, please just fast forward to the prank parts where he's fighting the bad guys and pranking them, and then just leave it at that. And I'm like, but then like you lose the context of of them trying to show up, and why are they the wet bandits? Like, you need the origin story of Daniel Stern and Joe Pesci. And I'm getting strong Daniel Stern hair vibes from you today.
Oh, I see that every once in a while. I do see that in my face when I'm say I'm brushing my teeth or like, damn, I'm looking like him right now.
Yeah, I look like a wet bandit over there. so I don't know. Maybe it was a parenting mistake on my part, but
well, here's the thing. I'm going to show my kids whenever I do have kids SpongeBob, and I know people say that's the worst thing in the world for them to watch, but screw it. It's my kids. But then again, it's also your wife's decision to say, hey, if I'm in your shoes, Rocky, they're watching Home Alone.
Yeah, I mean, I was like, listen, I haven't shown them Die Hard or Showgirls yet, which are also Christmas
or Bad
classics.
Santa. It's a Christmas classic.
Exactly. Listen, I haven't shown my toddler 2 Girls, 1 Cup yet.
Okay, you should never. You never show
a Christmas classic. No, never. Let me, for the record, never going to show that to my child.
Hey, good.
Period.
Good.
You should never show that to your children, ever.
You filthy animals.
That clear. You filthy animals. Over the line, Rocky. Reel it back in. Kramer, look what you bring out of me.
Hey, I'm always here for a good time. Not a long time, but a good time.
Yeah. We're not canceled yet.
So, hey, we were once, but you never know.
But you never know. Not yet. So you got big New Year's plans?
I'm hoping I can stay awake that late. It's me trying to get to midnight. I've been training myself this week with how I have to go to work or anything like that. So I've been trying to stay up later and later each day. I don't think I'm going to be able to make it because on the 2nd I have to go back to work. I have to be at work before 6 o'clock in the morning. So I ain't gonna do much.
Yeah, I think that we're gonna try to trick my kids and the neighbor, like the parents in the neighborhood. We all got together today. We like all of us who have like young kids, like our age, is like 3 or 4 houses, and they were like, "You just want to like get together at like 6 p.m. because it gets dark anyway." And tell the kids that like that's like midnight and do like a little like New Year's celebration with them and like give them like a juice box and some snacks and play like an old like ball dropping video on YouTube and let them have like the experience of like a little mini New Year and shoot off a few fireworks and then just put their asses to bed. And we were like, yeah, that sounds awesome. And so I think we're gonna have a little mini cul-de-sac because we live on a cul-de-sac, right? And we live like on the corner lot on the cul-de-sac. So we have the biggest drive. We have a big driveway plus a decent yard, and we're on the cul-de-sac. So everybody's gonna come down to our cul-de-sac to shoot off some fireworks. But then another family has a projection screen in their garage, so we're gonna go down there for the ball drop and snacks, and then we're just gonna put everybody to bed.
That's a good idea. Good, amazing. That's awesome. That's a good. I might have to do that. I'm gonna write that down.
Deceive your children and lie to them. Best parenting advice I can give you.
Hey, what they don't know now, it might hurt them later. But you know what? There's some time.
That's a problem for future Rocky.
Exactly.
Literally, there's sometimes where, because no parent is ever going to do the right thing all the time. Sometimes you screw up as a parent. And you're just doing the best you can. And sometimes if maybe you're frustrated, or maybe you were a little bit stronger of a tone than you meant to. You didn't do anything too bad, but you're like, I don't want, maybe I shouldn't have handled the situation that way. I think to myself, he's still only 3. I got time to turn this around. I still got plenty of time to turn this around. He's not scarred yet for life. And so, but the older they get, the less time you have to turn it around. So at some point, I got to draw a line in the sand and stop effing up as a parent and actually learn from my mistakes. But as of right now, I still got time. We're still early in the ball game.
I say before 10. Before 10.
Yeah, I'm not down 21. I'm only down 21 at the half. I can come back from this. This is nothing. We're not in the fourth quarter yet.
I can get that done in a quarter.
Yeah, we can do it. So I don't generally do this, Kramer, but
oh boy.
But so we work hard as sports media guys, right? We work hard on our podcast. I'm not going to say we have that we're the most professional guys, but we have our own brand and our own style.
We've got our own style,
enjoy. And we work really hard at our style. We work really hard at our craft. And so, but there's a lot of clickbait assholes out there.
Oh, there's plenty of them.
A lot of clickbait assholes out there that just put out bullshit over and over and over again. And I came across one this week that for some reason, normally I'm don't hate the player, hate the game. Every free website, every headline is technically clickbait. It's supposed to entice you to click on the article. And if it's a free website, you're paying for it in one way or another. And it's with your eyes and you clicking on the article. And every article is supposed to entice you to click on it one way or the other. But I will say this. I don't care what the F I'm writing. I put 110% in every damn thing that I put my name on. And sometimes I'll spend, 5-6 hours on a 300-word article because I'm trying to research the shit out of it and make sure that I got my ducks in a row. And so I never put my name on anything that people call some of the stuff that I write clickbait. They have from time to time. I've had articles called clickbait. But even if it was, I spent 6 hours researching that effing clickbait.
Jody Fort's gonna be the next Justin Jefferson. I get it.
Listen, I put a shit ton of effort into that.
You did.
Into that article, and it was satire. Satire is different than clickbait.
That's true. Very true.
I wasn't serious. It was a comedic article. But this isn't comedy. What we're going to talk about here in a second, and it's from. And I think that the reason why maybe it bugged me a little bit is that it used to be a publication that I thought was pretty good, and it's from a national media source as well. Mm-hmm. But so USA Today has the Chiefs Wire, right? And I guess I'm starting to. Am I about to start a feud, Kramer? This is the point of no return. This is the point of no return. Do we?
I just want to shake their hands. I just want to shake their hands. That's what I want to do. I want to know who this guy is. That's all I want to know. That's all I want to know.
Yep. So over at Chiefs Wire, there's a guy named Andrew Garcia who writes for them that I'm not sure is a real human being. I think Andrew Garcia's name might actually be ChatGPT. And if you look up his articles on over on Chiefs Wire, which he posted one on Christmas Day, and wrote an article on Chiefs Wire on Christmas Day, and I'll just read the headline to you, and you give me, as somebody who follows the Chiefs and covers the Chiefs, you just give me your initial reaction on this headline.
Okay.
This is for their lead up last week's game against the Pittsburgh Steelers, published on Christmas Day. Is Rashee Rice playing today? Injury updates for the Chiefs wide receiver. What? Scroll down.
Don't we already know he's not playing?
Rice underwent reconstructive. Yeah. Here's what the article says. Rice underwent reconstructive knee surgery in October. Typically, players can take up to 12 months to recover from injuries like the ones Rice sustained earlier this season. Rice is not expected to play until next season. Thanks. We knew that months ago. Why would you have a misleading headline that makes it sound like he could possibly be playing today, only to turn around and tell us, no, he's actually still going to be out for 12 months like we thought he would be. Why? Because this is the epitome of clickbait. Us covering a press conference where the player gives us shitty answers and we still have to write them up. That's not clickbait. We're just writing up what the player said, and we're covering the press conference because that's our job, and we're sorry that they gave shitty answers and we don't have better content to convey to you. This is clickbait. So if we click on Andrew Garcia's other articles at Chiefs Wire, we have, is Marquise Hollywood Brown playing today? Injury updates for Chiefs wide receiver. Is Patrick Mahomes playing today? Injury updates for Chiefs quarterback.
These all look like they're published on the same day.
Is Chris Jones playing today? Yeah, on the same day. Injury update for Chiefs defensive lineman. Is DJ Humphries playing today? Injury update for Chiefs offensive lineman. Is Jawan Taylor playing today? Injury updates for Chiefs offensive lineman. Is Chamari Connor playing today? Injury updates for Chiefs defensive back. So then let's go back for a second. 6 days ago, is Jawan Taylor playing today? Injury updates for Chiefs offensive lineman. 7 days ago, will Jawan Taylor play this week? Injury update for Chiefs offensive lineman. Like, not only are you writing an article about will Jawan Taylor play this week, two articles in back-to-back days, two different clickbait articles in back-to-back days saying, is Jawan Taylor going to play today? And then at the same time you're writing, is Hollywood Brown going to play today? Like JFC, man, like this is USA Today. Like, have some journalistic integrity and some pride, and say with your chest and stand on your laurels. I mean, and stand on your name. Like, over Arrowhead Pride, I know that we've been through changes over the years, and the staff that we have now isn't the staff that we had before. And some people like staff that have come and gone. Some people like us better. Some people like the old writers better.
Oh yeah.
Turnover is the nature of the industry, but I guarantee you one thing: we never put anything out on that site that we don't believe in, that we don't research, and we're not using effing ChatGPT to write that shit, and we're not putting this shit out there with our name on it. And I'll never put this shit out there with my name on it. I mean, you better goddamn miss me with that shit. If I write something, I'm at least going to do my goddamn best with every single article that I write, and I'm not going to put out this bullshit.
Amen, brother.
So I don't care. You know what? Cover your ears, children, because Uncle Rocky's about to let out an F-bomb. Fuck it. Let's start the feud. Chiefs Wire, you do better. This is bullshit. Yeah. And when you guys had Charles Goldman heading this thing up over there, who's now at A to Z Sports, this shit didn't happen, and he ran a tighter ship than this. And I don't think he would have let this happen either. We talk about people going downhill. Chiefs Wire, you got to clean up your act, dude.
Do better, please.
Do better. You were better than this.
It's literally this. It's the Kansas City Chiefs. It is the number one team in the NFL. You could at least catapult yourself this way, but you're getting churn and burn type of articles. Is he going to play? Is he going to play? Heck, Shamari Connor got hurt during the game. So, I mean, and Hollywood Brown was going to play. That's the annoying part. Like, he played the week before.
That's the whole thing. Patrick Mahomes said well before
that he was shit. Play.
It's all just clickbait bullshit.
I know at times people, I mean, the Madden Sims I do for Arrowhead Pride, that ain't clickbait, but you all might think it is because we do it every single week. No, it's pretty entertaining.
Yeah, it is. And here's the other thing. Like something like Chris Jones. Is Chris Jones playing today? That could be a valid article.
Oh, yeah.
But you take what could be a valid article and invalidate it when you pair it next to, is Rashee Rice playing today? And two articles that say, is Jawan Taylor playing today? You take the validity of what could be a valid article and you invalidate it with the bullshit that you put next to it.
Yep. Couldn't agree more with you.
And we didn't do a lot of research, but we have reached out for Chiefs Wire to comment on whether or not Andrew Garcia actually exists as a human being.
I asked for his
on the face of the planet. So if Andrew Garcia, if you're listening, leave us a 5-star review and let us know how you feel.
But by the way, keep doing you, man. If that's what you want to do, keep doing you.
Yeah, I mean, end of the day, do you like this isn't anything too serious. I don't want to act like this is actually something serious by any means, because at the end of the day, this is just football, people. This is just football, and football is entertainment, and everything we do is for fun and good fun. So even when I call Andrew Garcia's work clickbait bullshit, if that's his passion,
go give it a click. Go look at it. Go look at it.
Yeah. If his passion is to put prompts into ChatGPT and then put out bullshit injury updates, that's fine. Because I watch a lot of YouTube videos that are not anything better than this, that are also clickbait bullshit all the time for entertainment.
Plenty of those on YouTube. Plenty of those.
So I mean, do you, Glenn Coco? If that's your message and what you want to put your name on, like, go ahead, dude. Like, I'm not actually here to begrudge you, and I don't want it to sound like I probably came across stronger than I actually really care to, because it's not that important, people. End of the day, it's just football, and it's just fun. And so even when we say that it's clickbait bullshit and do better, Chiefs Wire, we're saying it as in, like, there's about 50 billion things more important in the world than whether or not you're typing up clickbait bullshit. But that being said, do better.
Do better.
You're going to put it out there, put your name on it, and do better.
I just want to know if he's real. That's all I want to know. That's all I want to know.
Yeah, I mean, I just really want to know if he's real. Like, if he is real,
love to have you on the show.
And
I'm being dead ass serious.
Hey, Andrew Garcia, dead ass serious too. Andrew Garcia, if you exist and you're a real person, we want to have you on the show to talk to you about your injury reports and get your perspective on your injury reports and the articles. I guarantee you it's not a trap. We're not going to ambush you. 100% just here to have a good time and shoot the shit. I'm sure you're a great guy, honestly. But yeah. So, Kramer, do you think that the Chiefs are going to try to duck the Bengals in the playoffs?
Oh, dude, I don't know. What's the rules of the, because there's certain ways that the Bengals can get in, certain ways they can't get in. But it's very minuscule still for the Bengals to have a solid chance of getting in, correct?
Yeah, so here's the scenarios, is that the Chiefs need to beat the Broncos, and the Jets need to beat the Dolphins, and then the Bengals need to beat the Steelers for the Bengals to get in.
So Bengals have to win.
But
if the Dolphins are playing the Jets, I mean, we really think the Dolphins are going to lose to Aaron Rodgers? Aaron Rodgers looks like dog do right now.
I don't think there's any chance the Bengals make the playoffs. But there's this whole like conspiracy theory going around the internet right now where people think that the Chiefs are trying to duck the Bengals and that they're going to lose to the Broncos on purpose because they don't want to face the Bengals in the playoffs and blah, 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 blah. The Chiefs are back-to-back Super Bowl winning champions. They're not concerned about a wild card team.
No.
Period. End of story. They're not ducking those GD chili eaters from Cincinnati, and they're sure as hell not going to decide whether they're not sure as hell not going to throw a professional football game and get an entire team of professional athletes to throw a football game and get Carson Wentz to throw a football game in his only start, of the year, and his only chance to possibly rebuild his own brand.
So Carson is starting this week.
Yeah, I think it's assumed at this point that Carson is starting. I don't think it's been made official yet, but I think that's the assumption that we are working under.
So are we just doing? Is it all backups, even the offensive line? Is Wanya starting? Is Ethan Driscoll starting? Oh, are we getting Ethan Driscoll this week?
I think we might get Ethan Driscoll this week. I don't think we're getting Joe Tooney. I don't think we're getting Creed Humphrey. I don't think we're getting Trey Smith.
I hope Ethan Driscoll's starting at left tackle. I hope that's the case, man. I hope
that would be fun. We're not getting Chris Jones. We're not getting Travis Kelce. We're not getting any of the wide receivers. I don't think.
So
we're getting Nico Remigio,
nice,
and Carson Wentz.
Is Justin Ross still on the team? Yes, maybe so.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, they haven't elevated him, but they do have a chance to elevate him for this game.
Is Samaje Perine getting the start, or is it Carson Steele?
No, I think it's gonna be a split carries there. I think that you may see some Noah Gray.
At running back? No, I know. I'm being an
tight
idiot.
end. You're going to see a lot of Justin Watson in this game.
A lot of Justin Watson. Juju. I bet Juju plays.
Yeah, Juju will play. Justin Watson will play.
I bet Hollywood's in. I bet Hollywood's going to play.
I don't see the benefit in it, to be honest. I don't see the benefit. I think they hold him out.
Maybe a quarter. Maybe. I bet he plays at least something.
What's the benefit? He's not working up chemistry with Mahomes.
Just to get out there, get some contact, and getting hit.
You had that for the last 2 weeks.
It's true, I guess. I don't know. I think you need more. I mean, because I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think Chris Jones plays. I don't think Justin Reed plays.
Is there any incentives people need?
I mean, that would be the thing. If it's a situation like Chris Jones needed a sack last year, right?
Like last year. That was the hardest that dude played in his entire season last year.
That was the funnest sack you've ever seen in NFL history, was Chris Jones trying to get that $1 million sack that he needed last year.
Yeah, I guess.
That was awesome.
He tried his ass off. I know that for a fact.
He tried his ass off. But here's another reason why the Chiefs aren't ducking the Bengals. If the Chiefs, like if you want to put on like your conspiracy theory hat, it does the Chiefs more long-term good to beat the Broncos and keep them out of the playoffs and destabilize the Broncos fan base's faith, right? And Sean Payton as a coach, to have them fold down the stretch and lose back-to-back games and miss the playoffs. And all they had to do was win one of their last 2 games to make the playoffs. Hell, all they had to do is tie one of their last 2 games to make the playoffs, and they collapse down the stretch. It's going to do more to destabilize Denver's franchise in their division for the Chiefs to beat Denver and keep them out of the franchise than it is any sort of perceived edge they're going to get by keeping the Bengals out of the playoffs, because the Bengals had to beat the Bills in order to get to the Chiefs. And I guarantee you pull 100 out of 100 people at Arrowhead Stadium and say, who would you rather play in the second round of the playoffs, the Bills or the Bengals?
You're going to say Bengals.
Bengals every single time. And so they're going to take that trade-off 100 times out of 100 as well. So this whole idea that the Chiefs are like trying to duck the Bengals is bullshit, and I'm not buying it.
And also, it'd be a great day in my apartment if the Broncos lost, just for that said reason. I hate the Broncos. There's just from top to bottom, that entire organization. Ugh, I'm out. Been out. Never have liked the Broncos my entire life. Like, I would never write for them. In a heartbeat, never would. There's nothing good to say even about the Broncos organization. So,
listen, I hate the Broncos as much as I hate the Raiders, and that's saying a lot. I hate the Broncos.
Broncos are just the worst, man.
Here's where I'm torn: is like, who do I want to keep out of the playoffs more, the Broncos or the Bengals? They both suck ass so hard, and they're both such shit organizations. that it's like, and I hate their fan bases so much that it's like,
that's the worst part. That's the worst part.
Like I don't want either of them to make the playoffs, which is why I'm going to ask you this question.
Okay.
Do the Chiefs owe it to the Dolphins to beat the Broncos and help the Dolphins make the playoffs? I'd much rather see the Dolphins in the playoffs than the Broncos. And here's why I say do the Chiefs owe it to the Dolphins.
Okay.
When the Chiefs won their first Super Bowl, right? I think it was 2019?
2019.
Was that the year that they got the 1 seed because the Dolphins beat New England in the last week of the season when the Dolphins had nothing to play for, and because they beat New England, the Chiefs got the 1 seed and went on to win the Super Bowl.
Was that the Gronk put him in the outfield play?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, no, I think they do. If you're the Chiefs, you have to win this week. You better hope the Dolphins win this week. You better hope.
You gotta pay it back. I feel like, and it's a win. It's a win-win. You pay back the Dolphins for their goodwill and you repay a debt, and you keep the 2 asshole teams out of the playoffs.
Well, we'll find out beforehand because the Dolphins play at noon.
Got it. Good luck, Tyreek. I hope you have more receiving yards than you do children this week, which is what, like 15? 15 now?
Let's have more receptions.
Yeah, let's have more receptions than you do children. He's had more children in 2024 than he does touchdown receptions. I saw that stat the other day.
Are you serious? How many touchdowns did he have this year? 2 was hurt literally all the season. So
I think it was like 6, right? Hold on.
He had 6 kids in 2024.
Tyreek Hill stats. Let's look up Tyreek.
What? How many different women?
More than
6?
that. Like, I think.
Dude, what's that guy
probably
do?
Like 10. Boys basically a Cromartie at this point.
Oh man!
So he has 6 touchdowns.
It's a Cromartie.
Yeah. How many kids does Tyreek Hill?
I think it's like 12 now. Can you field a full football team, like a full offense or a full defense?
Yeah. Dolphins Tyreek Hill reportedly has 10 plus children.
Gosh dang.
He had 3 kids last year.
Oh boy.
And he's had more this year. Yeah, so there it is. This was prior to him having his last couple touchdowns, but it was Tyreek Hill has had more children this year, 5, than he does receiving touchdowns 4.
Oh boy, that's he's working for the next contract too.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So Tyreek, I hope you and your family have a very happy new year and that you guys make the playoffs and we keep the Broncos out.
You need those game checks, buddy.
You need those game checks. You better keep those game checks coming, bro. You better find a way. You better find a way to get $100 million podcast like Kelsey did. After his playing career is over.
He's playing for another contract, man. He has to.
You're gonna have to, yeah. Speaking of not clickbait articles, over at Arrowhead Pride, our good friend John Dixon over there, one of our editors, wrote an article this week that I'd like to highlight because I enjoyed it, and it's 5 reasons that the Chiefs will three-peat, and I'll go through them really quick and tell me if you think of any other reasons than this. Okay. 1, the Chiefs have been outstanding in one-score games, which is true. Like one thing you can say a lot about, like you say, the Chiefs have too many one-score games, but the fact that they come out on top in one-score games consistently isn't anything to laugh at, because every one of those situations for any other team is a 50-50 situation, and they're like 100% for the Chiefs. So, the Chiefs have had luck, but their success isn't built on luck is number 2. And they say, like, right, it's better to be lucky than good, but it's better to be good and lucky than just lucky. And that's kind of where the Chiefs are at, right? So 3 key players have returned is number 3, and it's true. Like, you think about like the Chiefs went 15-1 missing Hollywood Brown, missing Isaiah Pacheco, missing like all like
there's so many people hurt.
That Mecole Hardman's still out, right? Like there's a chance he might come back for the playoffs. Jalen Watson's still out. Like the Chiefs have been ravaged with injuries, but they're getting players back, and that's a big deal. And then number 4 is key players have arrived. DeAndre Hopkins is nothing to scoff at. Like the man is a stud. The Patrick Mahomes has never had this savvy of a wide receiver in his life. And the fact that the Chiefs have already made history. They already have 15 wins on the season for the first time in franchise history. And different than other times when they were struggling down the like for instance, like if you look at the 2020 season when they lost to the Buccaneers in the Super Bowl, they had offensive line issues that year, right? Mm-hmm. Massive offensive line issues. But there were also other things at play there, though, that I think that people overlook. Like Andy Reid's son nearly murdered a 4-year-old in a drunk driving accident the week before the game. Like you can't tell me that his mind was on the game. Like as a father, if my son did that, my mind would not be on the football game. Like that's just be honest.
I agree.
Right. And then on top of that, you're playing against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in their stadium for the Super Bowl. Like it's a home game for the team you're playing against, and that happens. And I'm back. All right, sorry about
there
that.
We go.
My internet decided to crap out for a hot second.
I didn't know what to do there. I froze up too. I'm like, because you were mid sentence.
Man, sorry about that.
No worries.
Anyway, so but yeah, so it was just a perfect storm of situations that I don't think that's going to happen this year. The Chiefs seem much more primed and ready to go, and more battle tested at this point, I think. And they, honest to God, have more to play for. They're playing for more than just one Super Bowl. Right, which is crazy to think about, that they have something more to play for than a Super Bowl this year, but they're playing for something that's never happened before. They're playing for a shot at immortality of being the only team that's ever three.
And the scary thing is, after they're done with that, they're just going to do it again.
Yeah, they're just going to do it again.
You're going to go to you just can't. You have to. If you win the 3-peat, you have to go to the 4-peat. You just have to.
You have to, and then you just gotta go for the 5-peat, and then just
yes. No, that's the window's open. The window is open right now. Yeah. It's been open since 2019, and it's not going to shut anytime soon.
You go for it as long as Patrick Mahomes is your quarterback and Andy Reid is your head coach. You go for it every goddamn year.
Yeah.
Well, Kramer, it's going to be New Year's Eve when this comes out, and this has been a lot of fun talking to you today. What?
You working out, buddy? Biceps are popping right now.
These old bad boys.
Oh yeah.
A little bit here, like that. No, I've been doing what I call my my dad workout, which is
baby curls.
I do 15 minutes 5 times a week. I can do as much as I can for 15 minutes and not a minute longer. I work out for 15 minutes in my house 5 days a week. And nice. I try to do things like if I'm on the playground, right? If I'm on the playground and I find it's hard to get up off the ground when I'm wrestling around with my kids, then I practice getting up off the ground as fast as I can for 15 minutes a day. like whatever shit is really hard to do when I'm playing with my kids, right? Like if they like want me to like throw them up in the air and catch them, or want to ride on my shoulders, I'm like, oh God, my neck is killing me when it's like riding on my shoulders. I'm like, all right, focusing on shoulders and neck this week, bitch. You know, so basically I call it elite playground strength. It's not about vanity muscles. It's about being strong enough to be the dad that's not like over on the sideline winded. Like keep your ass in the game with the kids for as long as possible, and stay limber and don't throw your back out trying to climb a jungle gym. And so it's all about stretching, limber, isometric, whatever you can figure out, whatever it is that you need to do. Like you just realize your weaknesses and try to strengthen them.
Hey, I respect it, brother. I do. I'm just glad you're looking good. You're looking good.
Thanks. At some point, I hope to look as good as you.
No, stop it. You have to go in reverse operations for that, buddy.
And not a chance. Not a chance. You're a beautiful bastard, and I love you.
Love you too, brother.
Hey, we love all you guys. Thanks for hanging out with us and rocking with us. And as always, we hope we earned the privilege of your time. Happy New Year. This is going to come out on New Year's Eve. Everybody be safe. Dude, literally an Uber is what? Like, I know inflation. I haven't done an Uber in so long, but what? It's like $35 at this point?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Don't be stupid, people.
Don't be stupid. Like, it's so much. Like $35 is so much less than losing your license, going to jail.
Or losing your life and others.
And losing your life or hurting somebody else's life. Or the thousands of dollars you're going to get in legal fees and all the other bullshit that goes along with just making a stupid decision. Go out, get wasted off your ass and have fun and live your life and ring in the new year, but get home safe and have a plan on how to get home safe. But we love you. Grab somebody and kiss the shit out of them at midnight too, with consent. Consent is key. I don't care who you kiss. I don't care if it's man, woman, robot, how they identify. Doesn't matter to me. Grab somebody you find attractive and kiss the shit out of them at midnight, as long as they're into it. And that's all I got, guys. And we love you. And we'll talk to you guys next week.